Kraken YouTube. Welcome back to Myers two-stroke RC Garage. And today, guys, I got kind of a different video going on. We got some Ripp footage we're going to take a look at, and then I got like pretty much, like 6 minutes of Ripp towards the end of the video that I'm going to throw in here. So you might want to stick around for for the length of the video if you want to see that stuff. But one thing that I'm coming at you with is I wanted to make a video on the Taylor 35 V1 Reed engine, because it's got a V1 cylinder on it, and it's the Reed engine. And the reason I wanted to make a video on it is because I've been conversating with Mike, and I've been having an issue with Reed Flutter, or whatever you want to call it. But I wanted to talk about what I had found, because I fixed my machine, and this thing runs really good now. So, and it doesn't do that Reed Flutter. So what I did was I heard that somebody had replaced the reeds in their engine, and it got rid of their flutter, or their erratic RPM on high end. And so I went ahead and ordered some, and because what I did was I changed, what was it? I was talking with Mike, and he said it sounded kind of like maybe a spark issue to him. And lo and behold, I had an extra coil hanging up. This is my old coil. I had an extra coil hanging up here on the shelf for the 35. And so I was like, okay, well, I'll throw that coil on and see if anything changes. So I threw the coil on, nothing changed. And so I told Mike I was going to go ahead and order the reed pedals, and he told me to let him know if that took care of the problem. And so, long story short, I got the reed pedals, got them put in, and got it put back together. I took it out and I ripped it, and there was no change. I mean, it still did that high RPM. It was like, I'll put a clip in. So it's doing that, and I've been chasing this issue for ever since I had it in the Vesla. It started acting like this. So what I did was I richened it up from there, because I was just out back. I didn't have the camera rolling. I didn't have it on my head or anything. I was just trying to get the thing to run right. And so I was like, well, I'll try riching it up. It's got to be a tuning issue then. And so I richened it up, and then it got worse. And then I went even more rich, and it really didn't even want to move. So from there, I started leaning it out, and I took it back to where I had the flutter. And then from there, I just started gradually leaning it, and doing full pulls or whatever. Anyways, in the backyard, I was doing pulls, and each pull I just lean it. And I bet I got here, it took 3/4 of a turn, or maybe even better. But anyways, so I took a 3/4 turn, and the flutter went away. And then from there, I just kept dialing the tune in, and the more I dialed it, the better I feel, the better it ran, and the higher RPM it was able to reach. So I guess in essence, when you're running a Taylor 35 V1 Reed, this probably goes for the V2s as well with the WJ71. Whenever you get the Reed engines, whenever you get that high-end flutter like that, what that's telling you is it's too rich. It may not sound like it's underwater like a normal piston port, but it'll do that flutter thing, and that is telling you that it's too rich. And I think it's actually kind of cool. It kind of lets you know. It's like, hey, need to lean me out here. I thought that was pretty cool. And I just wanted to let everybody know that there's nothing wrong with these bonehead Reed pedals. In fact, I saved the two that I replaced. I saved them right here. I mean, I can show you. There ain't nothing wrong with them. They still work. And then when I was replacing them, I took the new ones versus the old ones, and I was kind of, testing the, I mean, you probably imagine you wouldn't be able to feel it with your hand, but I was thinking, well, if they're worn and they're easy to flip at the end, and they're fluttering, you'd think that they'd be easy to flip at the end, but they weren't any different than the new ones, and I was kind of suspect there, and I was kind of negative towards the fact that it was even going to change anything, changing these reeds, and in fact it didn't. The whole situation goes to show that the engine was just too rich with the carburetor. That's a humongous carburetor for that engine. Some people say it's too much, and I guess if you know what you're doing and you know how to tune it, it's not too much for it. In fact, it runs really, really good once you get the cobwebs out of the way and that flutter, you get past that flutter. It runs really good. You'll see at the end of this video. So, next thing I want to do is I want to show you guys the difference between the two runs. And I'm going to show you this probably at least 3 times. I want you to notice the difference in the RPM and how it reaches it, and you'll notice that the flutter is not there. So I'm going to show you guys that clip again. All right, guys. So the next thing, I got to have you guys in here closer for this because this. Anyways, here, let me turn this around like that. This is the big bore Vesla, 71cc big bore Kraken Vesla. But what I ran into, and I don't know if everybody's seen, the last video I put out, but it's entitled, the Kraken big bore Kraken Vesla goes to New London with a new steering servo. But I replaced that steering servo, and I did some top speed runs, and it was 2 mile an hour faster. And I really don't know if that was because of the mow that it had on. It had a really nice mow on it, which would have created less drag on the engine, but and the chassis going through the grass. But I don't know if it's a 2 mile an hour difference, and the weather was different. There was not as much humidity, and it wasn't near as hot. So that, to me, that tells me that it wasn't really any faster. It was just, I guess it was, okay, so it was 2 mile an hour faster, but that's because of the weather change. It wasn't because of the mow. I really don't feel it. I feel like the engine was making more power and making RPM. So what I've done here, guys, is I put the recommended gear ratio in here that I think the Taylor website has, and they're 2749 gears. And I got those in because I was like, well, I'm going to try them, because what I had in here before was 2550s. And so that this new gear ratio, 2749, that would be 3 teeth higher than the 2550s. And I got everything replaced, and the gears replaced and everything. And I was just going over the machine and just making sure all the drivetrain components were tight, and I was going over these 3 screws here that hold this gear plate they mount it to the transmission. They help mount it to the transmission anyways. And I was tightening those, and the threads just pulled out that pop metal. So what I am doing is I got a Taylor gear plate for the Kraken Vesla coming. So, because I know that, what is it, 74? He uses a really good billet aluminum is what I'm trying to say. And I know that's not going to happen with that. So, in fact, those screws probably won't even come loose anymore. So, anyways, that's what the deal is here. And the next time I have it out, it should do better than 59 mile an hour. I should break the 60 mile an hour the 60 mile an hour threshold. It should break that pretty easily, because we were doing 59 last time. So anyways, guys, that's what's going on with the Vesla and everything. And then over here, I got the Rocat Hybrid, and Nothing really has changed on it. I'm thinking about doing something different with an engine. I'm thinking about getting a different engine, maybe a rooster tail or one of those A-kill engines. Because I heard a lot of good things about those so far. The people that have had them, you know, they like them and they run good. So I thought about doing that with the Rocat hybrid. I just, you know, it needs something different. I ran it with this combination for quite some time, and that's really the best combination we have for it. So what I'm trying to say is I'm not going to be changing anything on it and doing any testing, because this is what the machine is. This is what I built it, and this is the best it can be until I, you know, change power plant or something like that. I mean, so anyways, that's what's going on with that. And then why don't we go ahead and close the video with, I got some footage after I got this baby tuned up of it doing some Rooster Fest out in the backyard. So I'm going to leave you with that, guys. And don't forget, subscribe if you haven't subscribed. If you like the video and if you like the content, and share the video, comment, do all that fun stuff, guys. And we will see you in the next one. almost hit that tree. No more flutter, guys. No more flutter. Woo! Yeah, guys, so I took care of that flutter. So make sure you like, comment, subscribe, do all that fun stuff if you like the video, guys. We will see you in the next one.